Hello friends, welcome to my videos. So in this video I'm going to discuss why do you need a medical exam when you come to Canada for permanent residence and also sometimes in temporary residence situations as well. So first of all we need to understand why it is actually required. Well, there are two things. First of all, inadmissibility. So you know that Canada has medical inadmissibility check as well. So if you have a health condition that could pose a threat to Canadian health system and people who are living here, then in that case you are medically inadmissible. If you are going to be too much burden on Canadian health system and you pose a threat. So when you come here, this is the responsibility of the office to determine if you fall in that category or not. Now, there are separate rules based on your country where you are living and also your kind of stay. For temporary, it is different, for permanent, it's different. So, let me give you a small idea and then I'll take you through the brief information by taking you to the IRCC's website so that you understand exactly what is required. Alright. First of all, for temporary visit. So when I say temporary visit, it could be anything. Like it could be a visit, a work permit a holder, and also an international student. So if you are going to stay for short durations, that means less than 6 months, you do not need it generally. However, in certain occupations, you do. That is related to healthcare occupations and all. I will brief you about that later in this video. For longer durations, you do need in most of the cases. I'll show you that also. For permanent stay, I mean, if you apply for permanent resident, you have to go through a medical exam. Now I'm going to take you through the other piece of information. So I have opened the IRCC website for your information. So first let's go through the temporary residents and then we'll go for the permanent residents. So for temporary residents, you generally don't require if you visit for 6 months or less, but in certain jobs you do need. So look, they have written C below. So here you go. That jobs that bring you into close contact with people such as workers in health science, clinical laboratory, patient attendants, medical students, medical electives, teachers of primary and secondary school or other teachers of small children, domestics, workers who give in home care to children, day nursery employees, other similar jobs. So certain occupations where your contact with people around you is more than other jobs, you do need a medical exam because the government wants to make sure that you are safe enough for the people around you so that there is not any unwanted circumstance and situation. Agriculture workers who have visited or lived in one of these countries for more than 6 months during the past year, they also need. So let's see what are these countries. Okay, so wherever you see this yes, it is, for example, let's say you are applying from Spain, you don't need. Let's say you are applying from India, yes, you do need. So as per this, if you are an agriculture worker or and you have visited or lived in one of these countries for more than 6 months during the past year, you do need, although you are going to visit Canada for less than 6 months. Okay. Now, what if you want to stay there for more than 6 months? So you will need a medical exam if you have lived temporarily for 6 months or more in a row in one of these countries. So that list I showed you where you can verify in the, and it should be and here, like both of these conditions should satisfy, then you need and in the 1 year immediately before the date you want to enter Canada. And this applies even if you are a citizen of country that does not need a visa to enter Canada. Or I mean, these two are under and this one or will come to Canada to work in a job in which public health must be protected. So, if you, what it says, if you're going to work in public health, I mean, in these jobs, then regardless of your duration of stay, you have to go for. However, if you are not in these jobs and you are visiting for less than 6 months, you don't need. If you are visiting for more than 6 months, even if you are not in these jobs, there are certain conditions based on the countries, then you do need. And when they apply for a parent and grandparent super visa, a medical exam is required because they are going to stay longer. All right. Now I have already taken you through it, and we already saw the link also. Who can do your exam? So this is by the panel physicians. You can just open this link over here, and you can select your country. Let's say select India. Go, and you have the list of all the authorized panel physicians, their contact details, phone numbers, and the languages they speak. So you need to contact them, find out appointment fee and other things that they wanted to tell you, and then you can go for it. And when you need exactly your exam, that depends upon the kind of application that you submit. Like sometimes you need to submit before your application, so that is called upfront medical exam. Sometimes you need to do during your application when you are actually asked to provide, for example, spouse sponsorship and all, and some other instructions. These will be provided to you by the clinic also when you contact them, and photographs, passport, and other things that you must carry. You got to pay fee, and this fee is gonna vary based on your country. So this is also something you can clarify with the clinic when you actually schedule an appointment. So now we have been through the temporary residents. Now let's go for the permanent residents. If you apply for permanent residence, you must have an immigration medical exam. Your family members must also have a medical exam even if they are not coming with you. So let's check which family members are qualified under this. So see, an applicant's closest relatives in the context of an application to IRC. It is defined as a spouse or common law partner, dependent children, and their dependent children. Okay, so even if your family members, those who fall under these categories, are not coming along with you, uh, still a medical exam is required once you apply for the permanent residence. Again, who can do your exam? Again, the panel physicians, and you need to contact them. And based on the type of application, you need to provide upfront or later. And what to bring and all these things are same. And validity, okay, yeah, we did not talk about the validity. So validity is gonna be 1 year from the day you appear for the exam. Now let me tell you my scenario, what happened in my case. Like when I came to Canada in 2015, so in 2014 November I went for a medical test for my work permit and I was granted. Then in 2015 in the month of March when I applied for my permanent residence, I used the same medical exam. I mean, I had that IMM number, so I used that, and that application was approved based on the same results because the exam was still valid. So that's how it works. I mean, the validity is 1 year from the day you appear for the exam. So I hope you like this video. Make sure to give it a like and comment, and if you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe because I always publish regular videos and I try to follow your instructions about what you want to see more. So if there is any topic that you want me to publish videos for, please put that as a comment, and I will try to publish your video as early as possible.